I find myself trading the options on the futures more here lately than I do the futures. There's just so much risk associated with the futures, and at our levels, the levels that I post in the room, they're volatile areas. And what I find is that when the futures reach these levels, it can get very risky to try to participate. And I find myself being able to define the risk with the options. And with me, I choose the options that are less than a 50 delta. So I can insulate myself from the tick by tick hemorrhage every time these futures should move one way or the other. And I'm showing a chart here of the S&P 500, and here's a real good example how we were planning our getting along in here at this 1404 area last couple of trading sessions, and you can see how volatile the market is in and around those areas. I mean, you get in that thing and it's just as hard as heck to hold on to the futures contract. I can buy a call option out of the money or higher up above the market, and I can hold on because it's moving with less volatility. But I'm in the mix, and I'm long. And it enables me to participate with these moves where I find it exceedingly difficult to do so with the futures. What I see a lot at these areas actually confirm that the areas are important. When I see this kind of volatility, when I see the market run stops down here, been doing this close to 30 years now, and you just get so tired of being caught up in this with the futures. And what I find is that with the options, I can do a much better job by holding on to these moves without that kind of volatility. And let me show you, just looking through a couple of these. And I've stripped the indicators off because I just want to concentrate on the market action in and around these areas. And you can see here, we had a lot of resistance in here. And going back, and again, I just want this to be very, very brief. We came down into this area, I saw this as an area of interest, and I plot these in the room for the four markets that we trade. And you can see how it served us very well to buy the puts here, and then came right back up, and in fact took out that area. Well, if you were trading the futures contract, this would be really difficult, and I think too much risk to participate with. We saw this and we talked about this being very suspicious, and in fact it was. And the market came right back down to the support area that we had for this trade. So again, being able to withstand these things can involve too much risk with the futures. It's manageable with the options, and that's what I like so much about them. And again, here's another picture. This is gold, and I see this a lot with gold. Isn't it interesting, at around these areas that we talk about, these pivot areas, that these markets will reach up, and again, oftentimes a great indicator, very difficult to capture in real time with the futures without taking on so much risk. But with the calls and the puts that are available on the option contracts, we can do this relatively comfortably and always be in the market where we want to be. And again, trading for these objective areas. Crude oil, same thing. Up and around in here, we had a little bit of a trading range in here. And just when you think it's going to pop to the upside, we hit resistance. Well, very difficult to capture in here, but we can buy puts at these areas of extreme, because if it does blow out, we're not going to get killed. Whereas with the futures contract, you just have to take on so much risk to participate with this possibility. And you can see that once it went through this area of support, the bottom end of this channel, we were served very well to our objective. When it came back, when it went through it and came back up to it, well, that's often an indicator for us that the move is going to continue. And we were able to position ourselves with the put options down here for our next objective. So again, you see at these areas how the market can behave with so much volatility that it is the options that anymore it's just just easier on the heart, and I can achieve more consistent profits without taking on a lot of the risk that you have to manage with the futures contract.